right, welcome to Creator Hardware, and well, let's talk adventures in home labbing and YouTubing. I recently did a video about my rack and my lack of space, but I was also talking about my Unraid server that was running this used Xeon platform, high power consumption, heat, etc. And well, I decided to rebuild it, and well, that's where the fun came in. Let's talk about it. Now, important note, before you install a system into a PC, it's a good idea to test it, to make sure it works. And so I did that. On this Gigabyte board, processor I was using did not have a integrated GPU, so had to use an external graphics card. Now because of, well, YouTube, I couldn't get a 12100 non-F in time to produce this video, so I went ahead and bought a F SKU because, well, I use a GPU in that system anyway, this Quadro NVS 295. That's where everything unravels. Plug this into my TV that I use for videos and posts and that, and I've never had a problem using it. This would not output a video signal. That sent me down a huge rabbit hole. Swapped in a regular discrete graphics card and changed settings like PCI generations. It would not reliably detect this card. That was early diagnostics after I switched to this. Hooked it to a monitor. It worked on this one. Did not reliably work on this one enough that I would trust it to post every time with this graphics card. Like, it output signal every now and then, but always funky, always a little off. So I thought my best bet would be to get an Asus board. Now this Asus board, DDR4 versus DDR5, before anybody comments, yes, I waited 30 minutes of post time to make sure it was actually posted. It would not post reliably with the Quadro. This will post with the Quadro in compatibility mode. Now, compatibility mode is something that's going to be set in the BIOS. That means when it posts, if I clear CMOS or something like that, I'm going to have to swap this graphics card back in to get video out if it doesn't decide to post with that graphics card. This is where the fun of home labbing and YouTube kind of sucks because, well, I'm kind of at a crossroads. Do I order in a 12100 with an iGPU? Do I order in a ASRock Intel graphics card for $100? They both cost about the same. And it's just frustrating because this server is, well, torn apart over there, not on this bench, not in my rack, so I can't use it and test stuff. Because I was really looking forward to testing DDR5 and how it reacted under a virtualized setup, because that was one of the things I wanted to test under Unraid. Is my standard Unraid, I haven't set up the groups in the motherboard to output, because in order to get back into the motherboard I have to install a GPU, and I didn't want that situation again with a server, because that was one of the biggest regrets of my Unraid server, is it doesn't have a GPU. Part of the reason why I didn't have a GPU is I built it during the pandemic, and GPUs were stupid expensive, and well, GPUs were stupid expensive. So I went with Ryzen and no GPU. So something to consider when you're home labbing is parts compatibility, because that's the problem I got with this, is it literally isn't compatible with the Gigabyte enough to trust it. And well, I don't trust it on the Asus board simply because it took a while for it to actually display a video with this card. So just something to be aware of. I didn't consider how old this card is, and compatibility can be an issue. I've used this card in other systems and had no trouble. So I guess 12th gen Intel doesn't like this old generation, because at least not with Gigabyte. Like I said, Gigabyte would occasionally put out signal with this, but almost never reliably enough on reboot to actually trust it to actually work in the server itself. So just a side rant about Gigabyte. They suck. I don't know why I ever buy Gigabyte boards. My daughter's, I had to go through a whole lot of diagnostics just to get her computer online. The testing I did on video for her mini PC was done on the SSD that I installed with operating system already on it. So when I swapped over, installed Windows, it wouldn't actually connect to my network. I went through hell getting that thing set up. Thanks, Gigabyte. So anyway, appreciate everybody watching my little rant about being a cringy YouTuber. As always, thanks for watching. This is Creator Hardware.